Welcome to District Dialogues. My name is Marvin Arrington Jr., Fulton County Commissioner for District 5. District 5 encompasses the new city of South Fulton, Southwest and Southeast Atlanta, East Point, Union City, and College Park. Some of the great landmarks in District 5 include Zoo Atlanta, Fort McPherson, which is now home to Tyler Perry's new studio, the Porsche headquarters, Camp Creek Marketplace, and the Wolf Creek Amphitheater. During this show, we hope to share information about organizations, initiatives, and resources in District 5 and throughout Fulton County for areas that I champion. So let's get straight to it. I am proud to serve as an executive sponsor for safety in Fulton County and a member of the Justice and Public Safety Committee for the National Association of Counties, also known as NACO. Today, and as always, in our Justice and Public Safety segment, we like to share information from our partners that provide resources and information about justice and public safety. Today, please meet Laura Hudson, Director of Animal Services for Fulton County. Welcome to the show, Laura.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, we're so glad to have you here today. If you will, tell us about Fulton County Animal Services and Lifeline.
Sure. So Lifeline Animal Project is a nonprofit organization whose mission is to end the euthanasia of healthy and treatable animals in the metro Atlanta area. We are happy to do that in many ways. One, by providing low-cost and free spay and neuter services to Fulton County residents. And we also are managing the contract for Fulton County Animal Services in order to change the dynamics with how animals leave that facility once they enter.
Awesome. How many animals does Lifeline handle on behalf of Fulton County in a given year?
Annually, we take in between 7,000 and 10,000 animals a year, and just to put that in perspective for your viewers, that is about 25 to 30 animals every day, 7 days a week.
Wow. So your team is out there working hard, I know. So what happens to the animals, and are they euthanized? Obviously, you said your goal is to prevent the euthanization, so tell us more about that process.
Sure. So before we took over the contract, we were awarded the contract, I should say, in 2013. The same number of animals were entering the facility, and about 60% of them were being euthanized. We're happy to say that last year we hit a 90% live release rate, meaning that 90% of those 7,000 to 10,000 animals that enter our shelter leave through adoptions or rescue or are returned to their owners. We're really proud of that. We do have to euthanize animals. We are also very concerned as members of the community and mothers, and I'm a mother of a 4-year-old. I want my children to be safe in the community, so not all animals have been treated well their whole life. And we do take in every animal regardless of behavior or medical needs, so we do still have to euthanize animals for safety purposes. The last thing we ever want to do is put an animal that may put the public at risk safety-wise, so we do still euthanize about 10% for medical and for behavior issues.
Well, that is certainly a much better rate, and I'm so glad to hear that 90% are being returned or have live release, as you say, so that is commendable, to say the least.
Thank you.
How can the community help reduce the number of stray animals and find out more information about live rescue?
Well, we're lucky to live in a county where we have very good county ordinances, and the law requires people who own animals and pets to have them licensed, and they also require them to wear a license tag and a collar, and there's a separate ordinance to have them updated on their rabies vaccination, and they are required to wear a rabies tag on their collar. If everyone would participate in that and license their animal, make sure they're up to date on rabies. Our field officers, when they're called out on stray calls, which is our #1 call for field service, we can return those animals to the owners at no charge in the field. They never have to come into the shelter, and we get a lot of those stray animals off the street that way.
Well, that certainly makes sense. What should people do, or what do you recommend when people see stray animals or neglected animals? What is the recommended course of action?
Half of what we do at Fulton County Animal Services is field enforcement. So we need people to pick up the phone and call if you see a stray animal. If you see an animal that's been tethered, that excuse me, that is not legal in Fulton County, and it also increases the risk of people getting bitten by animals who are tethered. If you see an animal that has inadequate shelter or has been abandoned, pick up the phone and call us. We will go out and investigate the situation. We offer a lot of resources for folks if they just need a helping hand with dog food or pet care or any information, spay and neuter services. And then for the very small percentage of our community who don't want to abide by the law. We do a lot of animal cruelty, neglect, prosecution, irresponsible owners who have been given the opportunity to comply but have chosen not to in order to provide a better public safety for the community. So I want people to please pick up the phone and call and be willing to testify if it goes to court as to what you've seen. It's going to take a collaborative effort. We'll never have enough officers on the street, but if we could all work together, it really does make a difference.
You'd be surprised if someone tethered me to a stake and left me there all day, I probably would bite someone too.
Very good point.
But like you say, it matters how people treat their animals. And so if they're treating them nice, then typically the animals react a lot nicer than the ones that are locked up or caged in all day or tethered somewhere. So.
Sure, and if animals are socialized around different situations and different people, before I came on your show, I looked at all the bites for this year, and I read through every single bite that we've gone out and investigated, and 80% of the bites that are called and reported where we do a bite report are owned animals, 80%. Wow. And most of those are a family member came over or the nieces and nephews came to visit, and the pet is not used to that disturbance in the house. So if we could just let people know, socialize them while they're young, yes. Put them in different situations around different people, and I believe that will help reduce the chances of people being bitten by animals.
How much does it cost to adopt an animal from Lifeline or Fulton County, and what is the process?
Thank you for asking that. Generally, it's $85 adoption fee, but we run specials every month. If you'll check our website, it'll tell you what the fees are for that month or that particular holiday. And that includes the animal having been spayed or neutered, rabies vaccination, their yearly distemper vaccination, Bordetella. We microchip and register those animals for you as well. And any medication that they have to go home with is also included in that cost.
And what is your website so people will know exactly where to go?
Sure. If you're missing a pet or want to adopt a pet or just find out more information about Fulton County Animal Services, you can go to Fulton Animal Services, .com, FultonAnimalServices.com.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Laura Hudson, Director of Animal Services for Fulton County. Certainly a pleasure to have you with us here on the show today, and we look forward to bringing you back.
Thank you very much for having me.
We'll be back in a moment with our D5 Spotlight. In our D5 Spotlight, we give recognition to organizations and individuals who are striving to empower communities in Fulton County. Our next guest is Toya Russell, Executive Director of Be Fly Girls. Welcome to the show, Ms. Russell.
Thank you for having me.
So, what is Be Fly Girls?
Oh, it's a mentoring organization for girls in elementary, middle, and high school. We start at 4th grade and we go all the way up to 12th grade.
Awesome, awesome. And what type of skills do you teach the girls, and how many mentors and how many students do you have?
Well, we focus on 5 areas. So academics, life skills, character development, health and wellness, and gifts and talents. So we try to focus on the entire girl. We encourage them to build their self-confidence. We offer opportunities to expose them to different things, whether it's community service or the museums or trips and things like that with our mentors. We have 60-minute sessions, usually bi-weekly, that we offer during the school year. And we work in Atlanta, Fulton County, Clayton County, DeKalb County schools. We are 200 girls strong as of this closing school year,
Awesome.
and in about 24 schools.
Well, it sounds like you're doing a lot of great work, and 200 girls, I know that keeps you guys busy.
Absolutely.
How long has B-Fly been operating in the community?
Since 2005. We were launched by a local Atlanta young lady who really just had an affinity for young girls. And her name was Lisa French. And I took over the organization in 2011.
Awesome, awesome. So how can the community, and what can the community do to help support your cause and the great things that you all are doing?
Well, we are always 24/7 recruiting mentors because the need far exceeds the supply of mentors that we have. So feel free, just come to our website and find out more. But we are always recruiting mentors, so the community can be very supportive in mentoring the young ladies.
And how can a young lady that wants to participate, how can she learn or get registered to be paired with a mentor?
Usually, once our school has brought us in and wants to host our program, then they announce it to the young ladies in the school. So if they want B-Fly, then they could talk to their administrators or the counselors about it. They can track us down. We can come in and do an assessment and get a mentor started in their school, and they can sign up at that point with their guidance counselor in their school.
All right. And do you plan on expanding B-Fly outside of Atlanta and Fulton County? I guess you said you're already in DeKalb and
Yeah,
a few
well,
other places.
B-Fly, there's girls all over this country. So so I would love to have a B-Fly Girls Incorporated in every urban city across this country. We really want to serve more and more girls.
Awesome, awesome. So what type of events do you do during the school year?
We have community service events with the girls, etiquette training. We try to get them out to conferences. We do fun activities. We do skating, bowling, things like that. We took them to Alvin Ailey this past year. So we do social and cultural events as well. We also do fundraisers for the organization to sustain our program. So 5K, we have a butterfly ball that we do every year. So we're looking to do a lot of things with the girls and keep them engaged and involved so that they can be successful.
Well, we're very thankful for all the work that you do with B-Fly Girls, and I'm sure the 200 girls and their families are very thankful as well. We thank you again for being here with us today and sharing with us about B-Fly Girls. Is there a website where people can find more information?
www.bflygirls.org.
Well, thank you so much, Ms. Russell, Executive Director of B-Fly Girls. We'll be back in a moment with our Arts and Culture segment. In addition to being an executive sponsor of safety in Fulton County, I also serve as an executive sponsor for Arts and Culture. Externally, I also serve as the Vice Chair of the Atlanta Fulton County Recreation Authority and a member of the Arts Commission for the National Association of Counties, or NACO. As such, I like to highlight and share with you arts and culture organizations and programs in Fulton County. Today, please meet Rosalind Lewis, Executive Director of Urban Youth Ensemble, and William Stanley, Chairman of the Board of Directors for the Urban Youth Harp Ensemble. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So it's a pleasure to have you here. Please tell us about when and where the Urban Youth Harp Ensemble began.
We started in 2000 at Brown Middle School with a borrowed harp and 2 students. And this is our 17th year, and we have 90 students and 25 harps.
Awesome, awesome. And are you still at the one school, or have you expanded to additional locations?
Well, this is our 3rd location, 2, 3, yes, and we started as an after-school program. And when we got the opportunity to be part of the daily schedule of the school, then that's when our program really took off, because it meant the students got more instruction time. So we went to Carver School of the Arts, and then we moved from there to Drew Charter School. So we teach students in 6th through 12th grade, and then we have an after-school program for anybody in the metro area to come to. And all of our programs are free.
And Mr. Stanley, how have you all been able to sustain the program over the last 17 years? That's a great time to be doing a lot of good work.
A lot of hard work by Rosalind, first of all. But we are funded by private contributions and some grants. But everything is totally free for the students. We provide the harps, we provide the music, we provide the stands, we provide the clothes, we pay for the teachers. So generous contributions and grants and support from you helps us keep going.
Well, awesome. What are some of the challenges that you all face on a daily basis?
You know what our biggest challenge is. In a nonprofit, in a small nonprofit, is fundraising. And, making sure that we have adequate funds to meet our payroll. We have 2 very highly qualified harp teachers, and then the students don't pay anything. Everything they get is free, so we have to raise a good amount of money. And we've been fortunate to get grants from the Fulton County Arts Council, the City of Atlanta Cultural Affairs, and from the National Endowment from the Arts. In addition to, early in our program, we got a really generous grant from the Arthur Blank Foundation that enabled us to buy several pedal harps, because the harps are very expensive. I mean, they start at $10,000 and can go up anywhere to $100,000. We don't have any of those now. But that's our biggest challenge, is to, to raise the money.
Mr. Stanley, can you tell us about some of the 1 or 2 of the best success stories that you all have?
Sure. Music is very important. Kids that play music make better science and math scores than students that do not play music. Yeah. We've had kids that are from single-parent homes or raised by their grandmama, who have been in our program, have gone on to college to get scholarships, because I think it enhances your mind. And the sad thing is, the first thing that programs that are cut out when money gets tight are the arts and music. So we've had, Rosalind could tell you about one of our first students who went on to become nationally famous. Yeah, so I'll let her tell you about him.
When we started, I picked a boy and a girl, and the boy just really took to it. He was in the 7th grade at Brown Middle School. When he went to college, he got 11 harp scholarships to college. Wow. He got his bachelor's at Rice University in harp performance. Then he went on to Boston University, got his master's in harp performance, and also his performance certification. And he hooked up with 3 other guys that he met up there at Boston University, and they formed a group, and on a whim, they auditioned for America's Got Talent, and they came in 4th place. Their group's name was Sons of Serendip, and it had a keyboard, a cellist, a harpist, and a singer. And he's just doing really well. So we're very proud of him.
Well, stories like that make it all worth the while. And I come from a music background. I played saxophone, so I know the difference that music can make in the lives of our youth, and how it can help them, 1, find structure, 2, help them increase their study habits. You have to learn another language, right?
Yes.
You have to learn another language, you have to learn science, you have to learn math, you have to learn esprit de corps,
yes.
You have to learn how to be on time. There are a lot of life lessons that can be taught for being in music. And to be able to play the harp, which is a very complex instrument, with a free lesson is amazing. Anyone that takes piano lessons has to pay for it. I don't care how poor you are. But to be able to step in there and pick up a $15,000 plus instrument and get good instruction on it is simply amazing to me. I've seen kids go on to college. We even follow them after they get to college. We had one student in South Carolina that wanted to major in harp performance, and we loaned her a harp from our program because you just can't go out and find a $15,000 harp if you're from a single parent household.
Yes, no, definitely. So you might find someone that can donate an old flute or old clarinet.
Right, but not at all.
Never played.
No one has an old harp sitting around.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all so much.
I just want to say one thing.
Yes, ma'am.
We believe that I have seen this. I didn't know that this was going to be the impact of the program, but in the 17 years, I have seen the ethnicity and gender of the harp world start to change, because of our students in our program. And 40%, at one time, 40% of our students were young men, and our most successful students have been young men, which is very unusual.
Well, that is certainly a great legacy. We appreciate all of the great work that you all are doing in the community, and certainly whatever we can do to help and support and get the word out, we'll be more than happy to do that. So thank you again for coming today. Thank you for your service in the community, and it's really an inspiring story. Thank you so much.
We appreciate you.
Oh, no problem. We're glad that we're here to serve.
Thank you for inviting us.
No problem. Thank you so much. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. As we close out today's show, we would like to receive words of motivation and inspiration from Pastor Jeremiah O'Day of Supernatural Life International Ministries.
Thank you, Commissioner. Today I'd like to talk to you about how to handle the storms of life. Every last one of us are on a path and a journey in life, and we're going to encounter storms in our path and journey in life. And today I want to give you 3 pointers on how to handle the storms of life. Number 1, you were built for the storm. You were built with the storm in mind. Number 2, when you go through the storms, not if, when you go through the storms of life in your life, just keep going. Keep moving forward. Don't stop. Don't be stagnant. Just keep moving forward. Number 3, keep in mind to prepare for the aftermath. Keep in mind to prepare to rebuild. So as we're all on our journey in life, always remember the 3 points. 1, you were built for the storm. 2, keep moving forward. And 3, rebuild. Prepare for the aftermath and rebuild.
Thank you very much, Pastor. As we wrap up today's show, I'd like to invite you to stay connected with my office. You can reach us by phone, email, website, and through social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for watching District Dialogues. We'll see you next time.